Alright, YouTubers, I wanted to make sure I kept you guys up to date on my progress on the 8.8 rebuild for the 85 S10 Blazer. Well, as you can see, the 8.8 is no longer in the vehicle. This is the Explorer 8.8 rear differential, narrowed to the 2 short axle mod, so it fits a S10 V. Alright, YouTubers, I'm in the middle of doing this 8.8 rebuild. We've successfully removed the axle housing from the S10 Blazer and set it on Jordan's super, I'm going to say extra heavy duty transmission rebuild table. I thought there was going to be more mess involved with cleaning up the rest of the inside and, you know, spraying it with brake clean and It ended up not being a big deal at all. So basically I started to put everything back together and I thought, okay, that's stupid. I thought I was supposed to be putting this on video. So basically what it is right now is I've cleaned everything as best I can. I wish I had bought a round toilet brush to better scrub the inside of these tubes, but using, you know, large clumps of paper towels and brake clean and a metal rod, I've gotten them really clean. I mean, it's within my tolerance or my standards for going ahead and assembling it. All the races have been removed. Yesterday's video, we removed the seals and the axle bearings. You can see where I kind of cheated you a little bit. Let me show you what's going down here. Alright guys, so basically once I got the inside of those axle tubes, what I'm going to call clean enough, I installed the brand new axle bearings just using one of those Harbor Freight seal and race installing tools. Looks like this. So basically all you got to do is line it up. It basically just sits in the hole. You take your little aluminum tool. Let me back up a little bit so you guys can see here. So, you know, you take your tool and just hold it flush to that new bearing and it'll drive all the way in until it reaches a machined ridge where it'll stop. And you just want to make sure that that bearing is fully seated 360 degrees. At this point, I have both axle bearings in and I'm getting ready to install the new axle seals. So let's see if we can get that done. Okay guys, I've got the other side installed, but I wanted to show you installing this seal. You don't have to smear it up with a bunch of RTV or anything, because those seals come with the sealant already applied to the outer edge. Just wipe that bore where your seal is going to contact as best you can. You'll see, hopefully you'll notice, I added some high temp red grease to those brand new axle bearings. That's just as a band-aid, as a safety precaution to protect those roller bearings during initial break-in and initial getting the gear lube or gear oil, you know, distributed throughout the bearing through use or rotation. So basically what I do is I get it centered in the bore, tap it to get it started. I use a seal driver that's bigger than the seal and bigger than the bore, because this seal only goes in until it's flush. So once it hits flush all the way around, you're done. That's how simple it is. You know, I apologize for not videoing putting the axle bearings in, but they went in just as easy as the seal when you use the right tool. Alright guys, as you can see, I've got the inner and outer pinion bearing races both removed, of which neither one of them were happy. Because when you look at the surface of these races I removed, check this out. You see the delamination and the scoring and the ridge. Plus you can see where the roller bearings were chattering. That was a direct result of running two different products together. Like you have whatever Ford uses from the factory, because this is a factory Ford race, and then I had just bought, you know, middle of the road, whatever kind of bearings they sold at Advanced Auto Parts, not knowing, I will put an asterisk on that you cannot mix and match races and bearings from different manufacturers. So that's 100% my fault. Why they allow people to make their own designs and not, you know, adhere to the original Ford parts. I don't know, guys. It's weird. And then here's the small. The small ones got pitting, a little bit of delamination and pitting in it as well, plus a little bit of a ridge. Same reason, I would assume, you know, mixing and matching aftermarket bearing with the Ford race. That's a no-no, guys. Don't do it. So now we gotta get busy and start putting some races back in this jobber. All right, we got everything wiped out and clean. Here's our first race we're gonna try to install. We're just gonna get her centered in the bore and then use our race driver to seat it down in there where she lives. Okay guys, there it is, fully seated. That's the small pinion race. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a booger. It fought me pretty good, but I finally beat it. Pardon the pun there. But anyway, I've got that one installed. Now I'm gonna try to roll the rear end housing over and see if we can get the other one in. All right guys, here's the angle or the view of the inside of the housing where the large pinion bearing race lives. This one I foresee being even more of a challenge to get in because you have to somehow extend the part of your install driver tool out where you can hit it with a hammer because of this housing shrouds where you have to work. But the process is the same. You know, just make sure that you go in here, especially after I've been wiping in this thing with rags and whatnot. Make sure this bore is completely clean and clear of all debris. And then you drive her home. So let's see if we can get it in. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, it was a battle. And I will tell you, when you're installing these new pinion races, you're gonna be tempted to think that it won't fit. Get a bigger hammer. Those things are tight, super tight. But I was able to get both of those pinion races installed using the fairly inexpensive Harbor Freight seal and race and installation kit. It's the small basic size one. I will tell you the large pinion race, you have to use it upside down. Do not use the beveled side because the largest size in the kit doesn't fit this bearing race. So I just flipped it over and used it upside down and was able to hammer it in once I got a bigger sledgehammer. So true story, guys. All right, so the housing's cleaned out. We got fresh races in the center section of the housing. We got brand new axle bearings, fully greased, brand new axle seals. So now I was going to put new spider gears and everything into this track lock carrier. That plan has now changed. I'm actually picking up a brand new Ford Racing 31 spline track lock. And I need to start setting up my pinion installing my pinion and setting the pinion depth. I got the 273 ring and pinion sitting here with the rest of the deluxe kit. So that's where I'm at right now. I know I don't like doing these multi-part videos, but I wanted to show a little bit more of the work this time. You know, it's been a pain in the neck, and I want to make sure everything's 100% legit this time. There's the 373 ring and pinion that came out of it. It'll be for sale. I'll probably sell this other track lock as a rebuilder, like, you know, needs to be rebuilt or freshened or whatever. But that's where I'm at so far, guys. Once I get to where I can do the pinion depth and all that, I'm gonna make a separate video on that, because I think it's pretty interesting information that I found about how to set that up and make sure everything's proper. So anyway, please like, subscribe, and share. Please hit the little bell. And if you go to my Headflow Inc. on a laptop or regular computer, not your handheld cellular device, you can enjoy over 400 videos that goes back over 7 years. So thanks a lot for watching, guys.